Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing some more Jeskai Control. Another challenge was taken down and there was obviously none of the good cards in the format anymore. They all been banned. They've all been taken out. And we did make a couple of changes when it came to best of one. For example, adding these flankers in over these seam rips just for best of one. And a card in here that I think is maybe cuttable if you're playing best of one is the Abrade. Not necessarily needed as much, especially when we're kind of trying to dice it up there. But with that said, we are back on it. Jeskai Control feels great. It's really difficult a little bit when you play it for the first time, just because the meta is going to be shifting a lot, so you have to kind of get used to how to play against other matchups that aren't necessarily as common. For example, not seeing mono red is absurd. You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen mono red in 2 days, which is mind-boggling to me. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and dive into games. I hope you all enjoyed them, and let's go play. Sure, I guess. Like weird because obviously we have this really expensive card in our hand, but also we have counterspell and the counterspell. I think I want to find something other than lane right now, even though we have this. Like obviously we're looking for like stock ups and stuff, and actual action on the board, right? Like waiting, trying to just draw lanes to get to this. But with mono red gone, we should have like a little bit more time. Turn one and our opponent's gone, I guess. I saw blue white land and then maybe disappeared. I don't know. Is that how our first one's gonna go down? No, they're here. Life gain. Okay. Fair enough. Now we know we have a very good matchup. At least I always feel like I have a good matchup when I'm playing against life gain, because we're not really their target audience. But we'll see. Yep. I'm blue white. You're mono white life gain, or Ords off life gain. I think I want to counter something more important. I don't have a white. I don't have a red. Never mind. I'm dumb. I thought I put this in. Oh man, we love making misplays. It's like I can dude, they're just pause do nothing strategies working. How do I beat this? Oh boy. Counter. Oh man, I'm so bad at this video game sometimes. Bro, I counter a spell, attack me. Come on. It's not that deep. Get in here. Like, what are we on about? Sure. There's only one counter, so. Here. I'm really getting punished by this guy, huh? But that's okay. At this point, hitting lands is probably not bad because we have to get to this. Yeah. They play another exemplar, then sure. I can't believe I did that. It's really funny though to me. Yeah, sure. Guess that's to live. Not that that's easy, but that's what we got to do. Basically looking for a tap land or something. Get lost also kind of does it. You don't move anything. Whenever you gain life, put a counter whenever. Sure. Oh, we have to take get lost here. Pop this. And then obviously they have maps and stuff to get to activate and everything here. We're basically two kind of looks. We have a draw and a look to hit land for a revelation, and then it should be fine. But I just can't believe I did that. Nice. Have another draw engine. It is kind of exciting to see if this deck's able to kind of do something good now. Because the problem is, like, you get this life lead, right? And then Screaming Nemesis makes it not relevant. I mean, I guess they draw it, right? You might as well just take whatever threat you can. We hit the land. We want to shock here. Or do I just want to play the Verge? Actually, I think we have to shock here. Go ahead. I think the problem here is if we don't shock and don't take out stock up, there's a very, very good chance that we just lose. They can gain the life, I guess. This doesn't draw until it's kind of done, right? What do we got? What am I bouncing back to their hand? Probably one of the Sanctificer was a counter on it. That would make sense to me, yeah. Probably not a basic plains. Could lose to a ley line. Sure. Yeah. This is the bounce. This is the damage. It's all good, dude. We had it under control this entire time, right? Entirely under control. Everything's okay. We messed up with our red man at the beginning of the game. And since then, we've just taken it over. Maybe I'll lock in game 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. We're not getting to 5, bro. There's no way. Every game takes so long when you're playing control. That's why you kind of got to be willing to marry control. If you're going to play it, you just have to be willing to play it a ton. Seam Rip, River Regent, bounce. Seems good. And then just stock up on the following turn. Not upset with that. And I can even like... Well, this does feel a bit overcommittal, but I think just setting them back a turn is probably fine. Time walk them. Take 4 down to 28. The vicious deck I am. I can always attack. But this stock up will probably help us rebound strong enough. We find one Chico, rediscover the way, it's over. But obviously our opponent has to let us out. Until then, they should fully keep playing. It's always possible that I just have lands in my hand. That's how I always think about it. And like this card right now is pretty hard to get rid of. Yeah, I mean, this is why you keep playing, right? Stock up good. Consult here for 4 better. That's why you play consults. So there is a Chico and there's a split up. So split up and Chico seems just like the clearly best option. Then this says what? Whenever you gain life, whenever it dies, put X counter. Okay, sure. Here. Should have looked at my mana just to make sure I had to double white because I would troll myself that way. Here. Here. Destroy all untapped creatures. Nothing. We're 8. 2 cards in their hand. The best card to draw for them is here, but we'll see. 6. This is where the Chico rediscover the way plan is going to basically end the game here. Look at my top 6. Just in case. You never know. We'll just end the turn. Don't need to get too crazy now. We have so much mana to work with every turn. Tightening the screws a bit. Also representing counter magic is always kind of good. We have 10, and then this will get the last mode and we can give them double strike. So yeah. Yeah, they answer or they don't, or they left the game and we have to wait for them to time out. Either way, we get the dub, I think. And we'll wait just in case. Alright, well, they did time out, so it did force them to concede, so it was the end of the game. So with that, we'll move on. First here, Seam Rip on 2. We are on the play, so obviously that's fine. So we'll keep. We get the double surveil right away too. Lands aren't necessarily the worst to keep here. I will take another one with this and this in the hand. Nice to return target creature card with mana value 4 less from the graveyard of the battlefield tapped. Exile target skeleton. Okay. I'll take an action card. A thing that returns a creature with 4 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Seems like I should probably keep something open. Ona. Okay. Going to Omniscience combo. This will be hard to beat. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is gonna be hard to beat. So we should be able to jam Rediscover the Way here. I'm gonna. Is it to the battlefield? It really is. Okay. So with that, I think I'm grabbing Ultima. I have to pop this. So weird to kind of try to play around that. Really weird to play around it. Obviously they're grabbing Kona, sure. Loss seems fine, but we now probably gonna grab that. We'll go for Consult if they do nothing. It's gonna be really weird because the way we have to kind of frame it out. We did put 1 counter spell on the bottom, and we only really play 3, so. I don't have the way to exile it. I think holding the counter spell was almost better. Actually, no, it's not. It's better to just counter this guy. And the reason for that is so they have to use this, and then we can helix it. For a land. Yep. We could have Seam Ripped this, but I don't know if that's. This time, exile target non-permanent. Yeah. We could have obviously done that, but. This is such a good card. Why have I never played this before? Here. Here. It also doesn't like put a finality counter on it, which is kind of crazy. This is like you can do it over and over if you'd like. Sure. Obviously, hope they miss. Like they missed. It is out of the pile you choose. And we know what our top card is and that we want it, so we're just gonna keep it here. We basically have to get to a point that we can Revelation and win from that. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but obviously we're gonna take our land draw. And we just pass. A little part of me wanted to jam this, but then you just fold. But I guess we gotta bounce that, and then they have to play like a tap land. Wow. We gotta make them do it, right? And then go for it. All right. Then we need to grab a land for Revelation. Sure. Here. One Kona has been the bane of my existence so far. Now we have the revelation, so obviously we feel pretty good. Oh, can you stop having that card, bro? How do I win this game? Sure. Obviously, I want to deal the damage to that thing. So I guess we return here and then here. I don't know, bro. Play another one, I guess. Can you stop? Like, please? A little part of me is just like, I have to keep finding stuff to do. When it directly matters, I should probably make sure I do that. All right. Helix and I do have a dragon, so that card will also be good. Do I want to fire off the Seam Rip just to like hit them for 6 here? Probably not. Holding up both is way better. How we're gonna get to them in time, I'll never know. That card sorcery speed, by the way, I'm curious. No way, that's not sorcery speed. That's nuts. They could have been waiting to do it on our end step, forcing us to tap out on our turns if we did something wrong. Which is kind of crazy to think about, but obviously best case scenario here is a tap out for like Kona. And then we get to counter it because we want to use the Helix. But like, barrel this. We're trying, bro. We are trying our best. Obviously, any cards that we can find that help us remove a Kona or counter a thing are obviously great. Guess what? None of those do it. None of those do it. With stock up, we can look. At this point, we also want to hold up our Mistrise village too. But I also want to get close enough that I can just, again, remove my opponent from the game. Would be sick. I mean, yeah. Now I'm just going to hold up like 4 things. Or do I not just Lightning Helix here and then hold up 2? I should be able to hold up just 2. Right? Here. Because also there's a chance that my opponent just like jams Prime Speaker next turn, which that card being a card that we're able to play at any given point in standard is kind of nuts to me, but we do need to make sure we're tapping our villages. I know Lightning Helix I couldn't, but I definitely could have for the stock up. And it might cost us, but technically it won't because red, white, blue, blue, or white, blue. Yeah, like I can't use my Get Lost here. Because, I don't know. When it enters, return target creature enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, what we're after. So I need to Helix them to 7 and then Get Lost a thing. We should have it here. So I can Chico, Helix, and then Helix them, right? We do end up getting there. It's obviously just going to set them to 5 and then we'll clearly have enough. Here. And just like that, I mean, we end up getting there. Obviously, if we needed to cast Seam Rip there, we should have, but we could have. But Hey, we take it, and I'll take it. Well, it's weird because stock up's not castable, but the rest of my hand is, so I feel like this is fine. If we don't find a blue, then so be it. If I lose to just ripping like only blue cards, but just like that, I mean, now we're just fully open. Gotta be some reanimator, probably. Means we only really have to worry about Arden when it comes to a lot of things. Actually, I lied. We have to worry about Terror of the Peaks. Yeah, can't really stop that. Narden. Obviously grabbing land out. Stock up. Not stopping them right now. We're gonna need something like a revelation, I think. This, I suppose. I don't like tapping out like that, but we can't really do it next turn by any stretch. Sure. That has to blow up a permanent. It has to choose. Which is quite funny, but we can now go into tap land. Obviously, we run into a little bit of problem if they just play it, bring out Arden, and bring out Town Greeter, which would be a problem. So I think it's just play Surveil Land, kind of just let them run amok for a turn. Authority is actually going to be huge. But now we just wait. Authority making everything enter tapped will allow us to not die most of the time. That's the Terror of the Peaks, man. The only card. I just don't know how I'm going to stop Terror. Although, I mean, I guess when they do bring everything back, I mean, they're making a copy of Arden here, right? Yeah, we want this to get exiled from the graveyard. Then, of course, I'm going to pop this. I know this exists and will allow them to do what they want, but hopefully Authority can save us. And because of Authority, I'm going to go a little bit more aggressive here. Helix, although not the best card, I think... I don't know. Honestly, it's probably Surveillant. No, it's probably Helix. Could rediscover a way with looking at the top 4 cards. I'm realistically likely to find another land. So now what they do is they either... We shut Arden off from the haste. We just have to not die to Terror of the Peak triggers. Which typically means we got to put Terror of the Peaks back in their hand. But we'll see. The other thing too that's kind of funny now that I think about it is we can actually like get a Shiko in our graveyard and Shiko would come back and can cast something like a split up at instant speed. I think I don't know exactly how it's worded, but I think Shiko forces the cast, so I think you can get around your like timing restriction. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a good play. Not necessarily dead, but pretty close. Basically, we have to do the same thing we talked about before in the last matchup against the Kona deck, is we have to get the Revelation and hope it can do enough to win. Are you picking off my Authority here? Okay. Interesting. Interesting play indeed, in my opinion, but maybe wanting to get a little bit more value. Now it's not taking that land, might punish us, but I still don't know if I necessarily feel like I'm in the wrong, but maybe we just lose now. I think Terror is enough to actually win now, but I'm going to make him do it. I don't have any creatures, right? What? That's 6, 12... Oh, they get to bring back double Terror, right? If they do it right, you get to bring back 2 Terror of the Peaks. I'll only end up gaining 1 here. I don't know, maybe going to 26 will save me. I doubt it. Yeah, they do double tear. So 12, 24. Yeah, we're dead. That's all I needed to see. All right, my opponent's first. We'll keep. Okay. Here, I guess. I think I'm just looking for like a split up. I don't think I have time to wait. Here. 2. Yep. He looks pretty good though. Although the way our mana's in, I guess I'm gonna shock regardless here. Then we wait to see what they target, and then I just body it, I guess. They might mess up and target the Paul Patrick route. Here, I guess. Yeah, double strike's pretty brutal. Sure. There. Now, again, we're still just on fine split up duty. Sure. Go straight to combat. Gain 2 life. Scry 2. Authority's like okay. I think I'll take it. Am I willing to take 6 here? 7, 8. Am I willing to take 8 here? I think so. I think I have to use this as a removal piece. This doesn't feel great, obviously, but here. All right, I'll need 2. I promise you that. Turn. You just have to hope this works. Oh, we get there. Nice. There was no pauses when we tried to remove the things earlier, so I felt pretty confident that they didn't have anything. I would say I think it's just this. Because technically they could have activated it there. I know it's like really weird to look at. All right. Climbing. Thriving, if you would. Just like standard. Thriving community. Now the land doesn't necessarily work. Shelter can obviously come in. Maybe that's what they got. Although sheltering a Chico feels like the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. If you lose your creature though, Chico getting to come back kind of for free is a bit tough, obviously, but sure. Yeah. We don't want to spend 4 because we have to be able to pay the ward. Sure. Destroy all tapped creatures. Chico. Well, stock up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shelter by Ghost of Chico feels incredibly bad. Not obviously, I don't think they had a choice. I think they had to do that. I just think like when that right there happens, like it's over. The game's ended. It is officially over. Oh no. Oh no. The other issue, I just remembered why. All right. We keep Counter Forest, the draw. I don't think we can keep that. Why not? Why not do it this way? Why not be the believer we all know we can be? That's a tough one, huh? I'm literally looking at the camera, but I moved it, bro. Like, Because now I feel like it's weird if I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? But I was supposed to be moving at some point. Hey, Ultima, I don't know if in a million years I'm ever getting to you, but we'll try our best. But we'll see. But I'm supposed to be moving soon. I keep saying that, but playing around split up would be smart. But I think this weirdly gives us a turn. I mean, destroy all tapped creatures, right? You have a spell pierce or something? Okay. But you can see in my background some of the stuff that happened. So see all that stuff on the wall. I used to have lights back there, which is quite funny to think about now. But I used to have lights back there, and I had a water line let go, or like the valve let go, which is a bit weird. But I basically had a valve let go, and what ended up happening was that as it let the hot water out, so for about 12 hours, a little release, there was just like steaming hot water coming out of my shower, and when I walked in, it literally looked like my house was on fire. It looked that absurd. So all I did was just like walk in, the whole room's white, not anything going on, didn't know what was going on. Am I supposed to Ultima here, or Shiko, or Lightning Helix? Ultima feels like a trap here. It feels like I'm walking right into a counter spell. Let's do this. And the reason we're going to target this is so I can Shiko split up them next turn. Go here. I'll grab this. But yeah, basically I didn't hang all my lights back up because I was just like, the wall is ruined, it is bad. And then I own the house, kind of. It was a kind of a scrap house. I don't want to really explain all the technical terms behind everything about this house. All right, we'll grab an authority here. That seems good. But I basically acquired a house through like a family member passing, or a family friend passing, basically. It was a bit weird. But the house is just not worth saving, so any money put into the house is just bad money. Like the foundation is pretty chalked and stuff. I don't know why I'm talking about my house, but I've always been worried about moving my cam, honestly, because of like how bad this back wall looks. And I have like all my posters over here. I had my posters and the wall lit up, and then it all fell like a long time ago. Sure. It has double strike now, which is kind of cool. What do I want to do? Do I want it to do anything? I mean, it's just got to be Ultima, right? I could have done 4, but whatever. That's going to end the game anyway. But yeah, so now you know the lore behind why I didn't put anything in the background and why I haven't yet. But it's weird. I'll move the camera. My light also, I don't have a light because I also didn't set it up because there was no point setting it up. I was supposed to move like a month ago, but it hasn't happened quite yet. I suppose. Life gain? Don't worry, I'll mess it up again this time. We've come a long way from game 1, so hopefully we're fine. Surveil here. I'm going to pass on the land. I have 4 mana essentially in hand. We obviously need to be... Deal. I get why they play it. I fist pump on an authority at the council. This is what I talk about whenever I'm in these matchups against these players where it's like, man, why we got authority, right? I wish I was playing control because it like counters me. This enters. We obviously got to pop it. We don't want it to move counters around and have to deal with it twice, essentially. But are we surveil land here? I think we can surveil land now. Okay. We will have to find some form of a board wipe at some point. Or like more get lost. I guess I don't even need more get lost. I just need Chico to answer everything. But it is a problem if they would have played one of these or another the other card. What is it called? The cat. What's the cat? The 2-drop cat. All right, there's a split up. So now we know we can kind of just be a little bit looser here. And I can always play it next turn. So I'm just going to look to consult here and set up for our future win state. Could probably go for Malaya here to draw. This is what they do. It's tapped. Here. I don't really want to play the flanker because it will enter tapped as well. So my board wipe plan gets worse. So we're obviously going here. Blue red when it's the lowest land. Kind of been keeping track of that one in the back of me noodle. Surveil land. I will say looking at 4 lands and then drawing a land was not on my bingo board here. Pop everything, play here. And again, Chico gets weird because it will enter tap because of their authority. So if I Chico do split up, obviously it feels a bit worse than what it could be. But obviously we have a Helix here to answer that. Don't really need to answer a Hawk with a split up, but I will do it because I'm a mad lad if I have to. Second Chico, we have a consult the star charts in there, so it just seems fine to take. And then now we have Helix plus flanker here. And they're not going to have really any protection spell. And if they do, then so be it, dude. You know? Pop here. They got away. And with... You go on top. Do I want to flash in the flanker? I mean, I guess I probably do, right? Because it would untap, so my split up will be good. Ooh. I guess I'm get losting that, right? So... try to gain 2. Yep. Here, I guess. Here. Pop this. 3. It's what, 7 more? Right. They have 7 more life, yeah. Sure. Ah, yes. The hard card to answer. Uh-huh. Sorry, Chico, but you're a sacrifice this time around, brother. Sure. Which just sucks. Really bad. Like, them drawing a card there is not great. Destroy all tapped creatures. Obviously, we're really in desperate need of a revelation at this point. Yep. You have to discard, which is weird. Sure. So much damage on this board. I mean, I think this is the chance we have to take, right? We do this. Go here. Yeah, bro. You got it. This? Obviously, it's not, I'm not even saying bro to my opponent. I'm saying to the game. Yeah, you got it, bro. Ultima doesn't really do what we want here, but I will take it and I'll take a stock up, which just sucks, but it is what it is. Maybe we'll get a little bit of an overcommit here. A Shelter by Ghost can cause a little bit of problems. That being a card why Ultima would be good. Going to get rather large. Definitely attack. There's no reason you shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I'm ultimating next turn, right? So I can stock up first, which is nice. So we go stock up. Revelation. I could play land to play a second authority, but I feel like that's just trolling. I feel like it's gotta be River Regent here. Combat for it. Ultima. Turn over. Now we have the Revelation, of course, and our opponent finally passes, and I have 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so I'll play an authority. And we'll just pass here. Do you still have the enchantment? Or... Weird. I just don't think it matters. Take my turn. Yeah. I think I'm just on River Regent, tuck both of them, maybe? I feel like that's also troll. I feel like we're just waiting. Maybe it's just get losting them. As much as I don't really like doing that. I think I gotta. Yeah, let's just start removing them. The thing is when they have a card that can make every card that they own a threat, it's kind of hard to keep committing to that, right? Because one creature is a 3/4 or 5/4 or so on and so forth. 5/4? 5/6 is what I meant to say. Killer Hawk, fine. This is like one of the examples of a card that, you know, it's a 3/3, right? This is probably the perfect opportunity to just be like, you know what? Let's bounce this, shoot this for 4. Probably the situation. And then, of course, you know, they're going to gain a million more life here. 41 is their life total. Ley line. They haven't quite done anything up until this point, so I have no reason to suspect that anything else is going to change. We barrel a stock up. We need to really find the card that gives these double strike now, and that's a great way to find it. With many cards I have in my hand, I think we're fine. I already played land, right? Yeah. So I think I want to get lost here. Might as well just get it out of the way. And then we're going to consult looking for our card. Let's chunk our opponent for 6 down to 35. This matchup never typically comes down to us actually ever ending the game. It comes down to whether our opponent decides it's time to leave the game. Now we're going to consult, grab basically 2 more good cards. There's Rediscover the Way, and there's Revelation. Basically the only 2 cards I was looking for. Now we do Rediscover the Way. And basically the turn before our opponent kind of wombo combos us, right? And by that I mean before this pops, we're going to Revelation, pop some things, have 4 creatures, and then we're going to cast 4 spells, giving all of them double strike. It might even be worth playing out right now, but I'm sticking to my game plan that I know and love and enjoy. Here, Pico. Again, my opponent staying around, which is fine, obviously. Grab a flanker, I guess. I'm gonna cast 5 spells and give everything I want. 4, 7, yeah, I have exactly enough. Sure. Then pass. 2. Not a whole lot of damage coming from them, but you know, it's fine. Sure. Everything looks good. Don't you dare blow that up. I have to win with that. Sure. Johnny's Pride Mate, the cat I was talking about earlier. Sure. That guy pretty large. And like, here we go. Bounce you for you. The reason we bounce that is so Shelter fizzles. We just don't want to return it to their hand. Now, if I can find a way to cast 4 spells, 5 spells, 6 spells, I can give every creature double strike, which is nice. I wonder if my opponent will let me do it. I don't know if they will. Stock up. 1. 2. Here. Control doing max damage. I'm trying to do it as quick as possible, but I also have to get to like 1,000,000 on them. Didn't tap my village, so when I draw the thing here, it's going to be annoying. Yep, there it is. And I grabbed the red land. But whatever. Helix. And then that, if that doesn't get it done, I don't know what else will, you know? Did I win with just first strike alone? No! I put him the -1 with just the first strike alone. Brutal, but yeah, I mean, what a way to get to plat 2 there against not against control, playing control against mono white. Basically game 1 right away, and to our last game as well. So yeah, I mean, control feels really, really good right now, especially with the ban. All right, yet another challenge winning deck, but we did make some changes for best of 1. We kind of played a couple of the games with how the challenge panned out, at least with the cards in it. So what I ended up bringing in from the sideboard, I kept all the cards roughly the same. We could have went for Rest in Peace, but that does shut off our Shiko plan. So really the only reason we'd ever bring this in, if it is basically an automatic win against our opponent, and then we have to give the Shiko up, right? So we left them in the sideboard, and we brought in 2 flankers for the seam rips, because with Screaming Nemesis banned, we just need to be able to board wipe or remove things efficiently on time with the kind of cards we have and get lost. The Helix. A Braid might not be needed anymore. I'm not entirely sure if it is, especially with Cauldron. You kind of keep this card around just as like a catch-all card. For example, if you use this and you hit a synthesizer. Also, by the way, I talked about my camera in the game. I also have my OBS over here, so sometimes I look over here to see if it's okay. So if you were like, what am I looking at? That's what it is. But yeah, Braid is here to basically pick up any random artifacts that we might have, or any random things that we need to answer. And Shiko being able to cast it twice is nice, right? So that's kind of the reason it's still here. But you could definitely cut this card, especially in best of 1. You might be able to cut it and just maybe go into 3rd split up or another Ultima. But this is the rest of the sideboard. There's another Ultima in here, Voice of Victory. So in the mirror, you kind of can't be interacted with. And also, like, you take board wipes out in the mirror most of the time. So if they take them out fully, you then bring these in, and then your opponent has to figure out how to answer these voices, while also you just helix them and just cast your good cards, right, on your turn. So with all that said and done, I hope you all enjoyed. I actually been a little sick today. It was weird. It's kind of that thing where the weather is dropping really quickly, and then it warms up and then drops really quickly, so my body doesn't know what to do. I've had like 12 nosebleeds in the past like 2 days. Because every time I just like grab my nose, it's so dry because I have glasses on. So sometimes I do this, literally this right here, cause 2 nosebleeds. Because like I brought my glasses back down and it scrunched my nose and the dry blood vessels, and it was like, whatever. What am I talking about today? Oop. That's my dog. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm supposed to be moving it sometime soon. I have no idea. Most likely, it'll still take a month or something, because I have no idea what's gonna happen. Really, no clue. No idea. No clue. So I will have a background eventually. I just don't know when that is. I literally have it sitting on my counter of like cards, boxes, and stuff that I want to put in the background. I just don't have it yet. So yeah, and with that, Jeskai is pretty awesome. I'm gonna continue to play it, and my dog is very clearly gotta go. You gotta go potty. So I'm gonna take my dog out. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.